Hi guys, my name is Happiness Essien. Welcome to another episode of the mentorship series brought to you by Yakha, where we talk about all things mentorship and bring on real life mentors and mentees to talk about their mentorship journey. On today's episode, we have a very interesting individual. Interesting because he's not just a mentee, he's also a mentor. So if you want to meet him, make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. So, remember, I said I was going to introduce you to somebody interesting? Well, here he is. So, hello.
Hi.
Okay, please, can you tell us what your name is and what you do?
Okay, hi, my name is Eromosele Adene, popularly known as Eroms.
Hmm.
I am a nation builder, right? And I also export agro commodities.
He's giving rich uncle. Sir, please pay me the money.
Real one
Yeah,
or this one?
anyone. Ha, sir.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into the crux of the matter. The
Yeah.
reason why we are here, that is mentorship. So, can you tell us about your mentors? Who's your mentor and how did you meet the person?
Hmm. My mentors. Right now, I would say I have two m- main mentors, right? I have other people I look up to as well because of the kind of work I do in nation building, especially, right? And funny enough, I believe we met 2021. That's the
Hmm.
first time I got to meet them. I've always known them for a long time. They're quite popular. They're quite uh, famous. We met 2021, and you asked where did I meet them?
Hmm.
And I'm thinking about it. We actually met at churches, right? After service, I think I walked up to them, and
You walked up to them.
I didn't walk up to them. So here is interesting. It's really, really interesting. They
Hmm.
wanted to meet with me
Okay.
after what had happened in 2020. So yeah, kind of requested to have an audience with me, right? So after church, I went to where they were worshiping. So after church, I went to meet with them. And that's we just kicked it off from there.
So that's so. Would you say that's your longest mentor
Currently, yes,
currently?
the two of them.
So in your case, it's quite peculiar now because it seems like they saw you as a person of value, and so they reached out to you.
Yes.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, so the next question is quite obsolete now because you told us that that's your longest relationship, and that is like 2021, right?
Yes, 2021.
Okay, so can you please share some interesting details about your relationship with your mentors and things that we can learn from it?
Okay. So when you say interesting details about my relationship with my mentors, one of the interesting things, I don't actually see them as mentors. I see them as people I look up to. And the reason is I think mentorship has certain rules. For
Mm,
example, your mentor must, check in on your progress
mm,
either monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, whatever. For these people, they don't necessarily have to check in on me,
mm.
right? Um, even there are even some people I still look up to. They do not even know I look up to them at all, right? So for
So
me,
we can say
it's
those are indirect mentors.
yeah, indirect mentors. So these people that I have are people that I call
Mm,
when I want to take on a big project. The project we're currently executing in my organization, the local government election sensitization project, right? It took us about 7 months to plan, and I learned this from my mentors. Don't just rush. 7 months planning.
mm.
It was a lot,
To start on.
right?
Wow,
But it's
interesting.
important to build the right structure. It's important to execute and have the best results,
Mm.
right? So reaching out to people like these that have seen life, they've experienced all sorts of projects. They've mentored a lot of people. They've inspired a lot of people. It was important for me to reach out to them. So I have a lot of value to give,
Mm.
and I reach out to them and tell them this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. So I'm thinking about what do you think?
Mm.
A lot of times when I reach out to them, because they are very busy men, sometimes I have to send a text first. Then whenever they are chance, I either go see them physically or we do a phone call for like 30 minutes or an hour, however long it will take to discuss, right? So that's my relationship with my mentors. It's not come and give me money. Nigeria is hard. For me, it's I have value. I must always have value. And that's the thing about having mentors, right? But I'm pretty sure you might ask it eventually. Let me not. But that's my relationship with them. I have value. I reach out to them, so what I want, and then they give me some form of guardians.
So basically, what you're saying is that if you're going to have a good relationship with a mentor, one thing that you must always do is be a person of value.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Now, that would actually take us to the next question I'm about to ask. So, can you give us some tips that have helped you maintain your relationship with this mentor that you speak
Hmm. That's a really really good question. Tips that has helped me maintain my relationship with the mentors. First one, which I've mentioned already, value. People want to associate with someone who has something to give. You must always have something to pour out,
about?
right?
So, value number one.
Value is number one. Number two, vision. What are you seeing about yourself? Where do you see yourself going? There are questions that some people get asked and they take offense in it. Questions like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? Right. The reason for that question is more of a vision.
Mm.
Have you developed your mind to see yourself years from now? And when you see yourself, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself small? Do you see yourself growing? Do you see yourself big, taking over the world? So vision. Um, and vision, my mentors they're always perplexed whenever I do a project and I complete it. Because the vision. I remember one of them, he's an amazing man. One of them, I remember talking with him and telling him we're applying for this, we're applying for this is what we want to do. And he's a man that has achieved so much. He has achieved so much. I don't even think I want to mention because I don't know if he wants his name to be out there. He has achieved so much. And he was looking at me like, that look of, are you sure you're not overreaching? But when we completed the project, yes, we didn't meet some things that we had set. But like, there's a saying that if you aim for the sun or you aim for the stars, even if you don't land on the stars, you'll be on the cloud, right? So he had done really great stuff, and even the things that we eventually achieved, we passed most of them. We surpassed most of them. Sorry. So vision, value, capacity. Because it's not enough for you to have a vision to say, I want to do something. Do you have the capacity? Are you building yourself to have that kind of capacity? Right? So when they see that you have capacity, it even helps the mentor to invest in you because one thing you want is your mentor to be able to invest in you. And investment is not just money.
Yeah.
Investment is network. Can they take you out to certain places? Can they pick up their phone and call a friend?
I will not fold their hands.
Exactly, and you know, fold their hand, and whatever the friend throws at you, opportunity wise or discussion wise, you're able to take it in. When you're doing projects, are you going to, out of fear, just limit yourself? So capacity is really important. Um, and the last one I would say is gifts. We'll talk about this later, but for gifts, when I say gifts, most people think my mentor get money past me or he get network past me. Let's say I think give out,
Yeah.
but don't underestimate gifts. Don't under, I'm Let me just stop there. Don't underestimate gifts. Nothing is too small. A lot of times, these people see it as the intention, right? The intention behind you giving them something. They are always the ones giving. They are always the ones giving. So whenever they receive something, even on their birthday, you don't even need to wait for their birthday. Send them something, a pen, a jotter or a diary, a calendar with their faces. We are tech now. We can design it ourselves. Design a calendar with their faces every month. Print it, just one copy or 5 copies. One for the house, one for the office,
Yeah.
one for their
So
kitchen.
every time they see, they're reminded of
Exactly.
you. That's really nice.
Gifts.
Okay, that's interesting. So value, vision, capacity, and gifts. Amazing. So to my next question, have you ever had like a call out or a bad experience with any of the mentors, and how did you handle it?
Okay, that question, right? I have not had any call yet. But to answer the question in case someone else, uh, needs this, I'm going to give an example. Something happened some 3, 4 years ago. Right, I was trying to get into a business space, so I had to meet some people, and it was quite
was an audacious business. So when I went to meet these are men that already have grandchildren. The young guy was still playing space, and they had threats. So you already know they already felt I was into fraud, right? And then trying to be the middleman and connect the buyer and the seller, or the buyer, the seller and the client, whatever. Selling things didn't go well. And then I observed, or I noticed a few days after that, the man had blocked me on WhatsApp. I said, it's my money. No, you are not done the business. It was just being really skeptical. Right. So I think I sent him a text explaining what had happened. And luckily for me, if I remember correctly, I had sent him links to what I had been doing in the past. What I do and what I have been doing. Because when I say have, it's not hard, it's because and I believe he saw it, because I know that I still see his status. We don't talk anymore, right? But like I said, it was just a business deal. But he unblocked me, and you know, now. So there are a lot of times when you fall out with your mentor for whatever reason, you want to ensure that they know you still have the integrity in check. They know that you are sorry. You must be sorry. You have to be sincerely sorry. Because a lot of times they can tell. Right? So your integrity, you're sorry, and you have learned from your mistake such that you will repeat itself again. And you have to be patient. Let them forgive you when it's convenient for them, not when it's convenient for you. Yes, so I think that's what I have to say about that.
Right, thank you so much for that. All right, so to my next question. So this one, we're about to move into the next phase. So we just finished talking about his mentorship journey, that his relationship with his mentor, because he said they're more than one. So now I'm going to move into his relationship with his mentees. So can you tell us how many mentees do you have and how big are they?
Mentees. So that grammar or that word, I wouldn't say I have mentees because, like I mentioned earlier about mentors, they're basically people I look up to. They don't necessarily have checking on my progress, or they don't have any obligation to feel as mentors towards me, right? I know that this is what I want. I know that this is the value I'm chasing. If the best I can get is an advice when you are free, once a month, once a quarter, fine, right? And so that's kind of what I also do as well, right? There's a lot going on, not enough time to go around, right? But what I try to do is I create systems, and then people who look up to me, who are kind of have access to it, they get into the system and then they know themselves. So I have a couple of people who have been developing themselves, just by association or by volunteering or working with me, right? And I see the growth. I don't actually have to check in monthly or quarterly, but I see the growth. And whenever they have anything, right, they can call me or send me a WhatsApp message. They can meet up. I'm glad to help. Um, I actually, at least within the past year, I know a couple of people who have experienced significant growth. And one of the reasons why I'm still using this method is we plan to let my organization get at the face of the whole movement, right? So we have a structure as an organization. So we plan to expand what we do and the amounts of youth have on our platforms or on our platforms, right? So it's now a situation of how many network can I take? But if I create the right system, right, and it's working, yeah, so whenever the platforms start to grow and expand, we can have more indirect mentees that are, honing their skills and improving themselves daily, hourly, weekly, monthly, and so I actually can't count. If we're to call them mentees, I don't think about the number to it.
All right, so there's something that you've been saying that's the phrase having someone with good. So what will you say are the benefits of having someone?
Hmm. The benefits are enormous. Like I said earlier, it depends on what you're looking to get. What are the plans you have for your life? What are you doing right now? Career wise, financially, emotionally, what exactly are you doing? It's always good to have someone to look up to who would give you direction, who would ensure you do not make certain mistakes that are avoidable or mistakes that you cannot reverse. So, I mean, I'm really saying the benefits, right? You need someone, you need direction. In life, you need direction. You don't know it, no matter how brilliant you are. So you need someone who has gone before you, someone who has learned the ropes, someone who has made the mistakes. You need network. You need network. Anything you're doing, you need network. Even if you're doing 9 to 5, you might want to get a better job. You might want to get promotion even within that office. Or you're doing business and you want to expand. You need someone who puts you in the room. I had a friend, I was telling her some months ago, she was trying to get a job. And I was like, okay, who can refer you? She was applying online. I was like, who can refer you? She said, personally, if I was to, because I do business, but if I was to transition to a 9 to 5, I don't think I would send an email. Oh, I saw this job opening and I would like to. I don't think I would do that. I would use the relationships I have and say, I want to get a job. Can you put me in the job? Because that's literally how people get jobs, right? Or okay, because so my mentors employ people, right? And there are discussions that I have with them, or there are times I'm with them in the room, and not like in a. Sometimes I'm with them in the same space when certain things just happen and I'm catching it. For example, if they were to go through applications, they go through the applications, they're probably trying to employ for a position, they go through the applications. The ones that are more likely to get the jobs or the job, if it's only one, are those who were referred, not the stranger who are. But I mean, strangers can get a job more often than not. It's the people who are referred. So you need mentors that they've observed it for a while. They've seen your growth. They've seen your integrity, your value, your capacity, and so they can put you in the room where a lot of things that I do now. I don't joke with people like that, but I will just send a text. Sir, there's this thing we're trying to do. Do you have anybody in this organization? Or do you know this person? I will not go and be sending emails and try my luck and spending months. When I know I can literally get that in a day or a few days if my mentor can put in the right way.
So Mr. Aaron, so are there any aspects of mentorship that you feel like I don't talk about here that you really think that you get teach you to think about? Here is the platform.
Okay, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I'll emphasize on it again, or just flesh it out. Your mentors, you do not necessarily need mentors that you have access to, right? There are people who have lived life and they've been able to document it. But there are some mentors I have. Let's use the word mentors. There's some mentors I have that I know they've written books. So I go, I get the books, or I listen to the audio, right? I learn from them, or I just watch them, watch what they post online. Some people post educational stuff, right? Those are, you can reach out to them. Even if you reach out and you don't get a response, they can mentor you from afar. You don't necessarily need to have.
So this kind of brings us back to what we spoke about in the last episode where we spoke about indirect mentorship and direct mentorship. If you've not already seen that, you need to go back and watch.
Indirect mentorship. The other one, your mentor does not need to have money. It doesn't need to be a very rich person. The person can just have more knowledge, right, in certain areas. So it's not, and people make this mistake, especially young people. Because I try to a lot of young people, and I'm a very simple person, right? I mean, to an extent, for us for a very long time, uh, most of the projects we're doing is with personal funding, right? So I live a very simple life, and that helps me have extra money or funds to support my projects, my passion, which is nation building. And because I live a very simple life, but I'm doing great stuff, like people, when young people meet me, they're expecting to see me in a Benz, see me in a flashy car, wearing flashy stuff. Do you understand? And so a lot of times they're let down. And then they go to the person who is driving a Benz. That's probably even in Nigeria and asking them for advice. So you don't need to have that, or if you already have that mentality of the flashiness or you need to let it go, you're missing out on a lot. You're missing out on so much. The mentor doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to be flashy. Very simple. You can even meet your mentor on the same public transport. Trust me. That's even the best part of that mentor. Someone that can easily access. Sir, what time are you going to the office? Let's enter bus together. And you're on the journey to your destination, you're discussing, you're teaching, you're learning, and age. Your mentor does not always need to be older than you. It doesn't always. This is a technology age, right? Young people are learning stuff. They're learning great stuff online, so you can learn from different people regardless of their age.
So, three things that you said, that your mentor does not have to be flashy, that means your mentor doesn't have to be rich. Your mentor does not have to be someone that's older than you, also be someone that's younger than you, that's you. And the last one,
You don't need to have direct contacts, indirect mentorship.
yes, so you can have indirect mentorship. And I also linked them back to the other video that we just made. See that.
Yeah,
Go and
watch that video.
watch. I don't watch that video. All right, Aaron, it's been so good having you, and you're coming to the end of this episode. But before we leave, I'd like you to, give some advice to any young person that's watching this and is seeking mentorship.
I'm going to say, look up, look straight, and look down. And I'm saying that because you must understand that you can have a mentor in any phase of life, right? You can have anybody as your mentor. So when you look up age, finances, network, it could be better than you. You can select mentor. Those people. When you look straight, your age mates, people who are equally skilled, who have equal access to resources, who have, within the same earning brackets. You can have mentors, within these people as well. And then when you look down, people who are younger than you, who have less finances, who have less access to things, than you do, you can have mentors there as well. Right?
But chances are they have experiences that they've had.
Exactly. Don't just look up to don't just look up and select your mentors from there. You'll miss out on a lot. Because personally, I have young people that like look for, okay, what do you think about this? Okay, don't do this. Can you give me 30 minutes? I want to jump on the call. What do you think about try to do this? And I want to understand how you think it's best for school. Like, for example, we're trying to reach out to young people, say the Gen Zs. I will need to. I have like 2-3 people I always reach out to who are younger. So yeah, don't underestimate anyone, right? Anyone can be a mentor, someone you be to someone you learn from.
Thanks so much for that, Mr. Eromosele. It's been a pleasure having you. And we can't wait to see what other series that we can also jump on. All right.
I'll be happy to.
Thank you so much once again. We have had such an amazing time with Mr. Eroms today, and I'm very sure you guys enjoyed today's episode. But before we leave, Here are some things from this episode that you must remember. Number one, if you're going to meet a mentor, make sure that you're a person who has value to offer, you have a vision, you have capacity, and you can give gifts when necessary. Number two, your mentor does not have to be someone who is flashy, and he does not have to mentor you directly. You can learn from things that he has put out, maybe content that he has even put out, like books, video content online, anything, my dear. Number three, your mentor does not have to be on the same level as you are. It can be on a different level. And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it just as I did. With that, I say bye. See you next time.